feels good to be back in front of an audience. Feels like home. But boy, am I sick of that place. I mean, it's great to see people again. Hey, who put on weight during lockdown? I tell you, I was going out to clap for the NHS, but I kept on getting Deliveroo put in my hands. But, you know, I worked off the weight, and now my family doesn't bring up my weight when they see me. How do you? So apparently, this whole COVID thing was started by a guy eating a bat in China. Who let Robert Pattinson into China? You see, that's funny, because Robert Pattinson has been cast as the new Batman, and he has COVID. So he's like Robert Battison. It's a topical joke and a pun. And all these anti-maskers, you know, why are they so against wearing masks? A bunch of mouth breathers. And second wave is about to start. Has everyone got their surfboards ready? You know, Keir Starmer is the new Labour leader, and he's so bad at public speaking, they should call him Keir Stammer. Wouldn't that be funny if he had that disability? No. Boris is in charge. Wacky Boris. His government's a shambles. But we have to thank God that we didn't get the nightmare of Corbynism. Well, that's not the government's fault. That was always going to happen. And Labour lost fair and square. What? But they'd have to hate us. They'd have to think all voters are bastards. Well, at least the Tories are fighting fair. You know, they're making their case in the public, in the free marketplace of ideas, and allowing us to come to our own conclusion. That can't be right. There's got to be some sort of jokes. Let's get funny again. Let's be funny. You know what's funny? America is funny. Has anyone seen the blood red skies over the West Coast right now? Normal world. That ain't it, Chief. And that's a tweet. You know, they say, red sky in morning, shepherd's warning. Red sky at night, shepherd's delight. Red sky all day, shepherd move away. Back to entertainment. Who here is excited to see Tenet? You know, a lot of people are worried about Tenet because they're scared they're going to miss it in the cinemas. And what they should be worried about is their tenancy agreements, because they're going to miss their rent because there's not been another stimulus package. See, that's just good comedy. And what about this whole Black Lives Matter thing? I mean, police brutality is a problem, I guess, but we gotta stop listening to all of these extremists and radicals. It's just a few bad apples. That's not good at all. What about Trump? Or should I say Drumpf? He makes me spit out my Corvette every morning. I mean, they say Orange Man bad, but there is a Cheeto in the White House, people. And who's heard about him not paying his taxes? Don't we care about that? We care about him not paying his taxes. And he turns out he's not even as rich as he says he is. I prefer my presidents to be actual billionaires. Thank you. I mean, what will Trump do next? But that's eugenics. Well, at least Joe Biden and the Democrats are gonna... Oh. Well, hey, how's about all of this Epstein stuff? Weird. But at least justice is now being... But that's so out in the open. It's like they don't care. Hey, at least there's one positive institution out there. Facebook.com. Keeping us together during lockdown. Come on, man. That doesn't count. It's just one country. What's important to remember is that we're all in this together. Look, we're getting bogged down in the details here. What it really comes down to is good politics and bad politics. Good politics is what you agree with.
Moderation.
Exactly. Hearing both sides out, staying in the middle. Whereas bad politics is what you disagree with.
Being an extremist.
Being impolite.
Being hysterical.
But who tells you what's good politics and what's bad politics?
Good people.
With good ideas.
Where do good ideas come from?
Good brains.
Incredible.
How do we know where these good brains come from?
Well, we're doing studies, actually.
Oh? Any findings?
Turns out they're European.
Fascinating.
But where would we be without bad ideas?
We wouldn't know good without bad.
It's called relativity.
Einstein invented it.
You're gonna disagree with Einstein? Would you ever make a nuclear bomb? Sit down, sweetie.
Einstein never had a hand in the construction of the atom bomb.
Nobody's perfect. So true. So why pursue it?
Exactly. Be happy with what you have.
Drink a Pepsi.
Drink a Coke.
Play Xbox with your cousin.
Start a business with your uncle.
Find your family in the workplace.
Find your profits at home.
Meaning is out there.
Go-getters, go get it.
Now that's a good idea.
Just gotta be more normal.
Stop being so sad.
Everything's fine.
And we're all feeling it.
We're feeling fine.
Literally just vibing.
So why can't you?
Just have to try harder.
You just have to smile more.
Accept responsibility.
If you really wanted it, you'd have it.
Believe.
Believe that everything's fine. It's getting more difficult to write jokes right now, and not necessarily because of our collapse into this century of catastrophe. In fact, comedy is a great way of processing horror. And that's the issue. That our late-stage capitalist hellscape has entirely metabolized and internalized that coping mechanism, so that now we experience all horror and atrocities as spectacle. I'd say that this phenomenon has been best encapsulated by the 9 years I've spent on Twitter.com, having my mind slow-motion power-washed. Twitter is a carnival of nightmare simulacrum, where the most brilliant attractions are radicalized celebrities and the mutant heads of state. Where the only way to not become enthralled by the culture wars on there is to adopt a disaffected, ironic detachment, which in itself is a sort of enthralled engagement, where all news is immediately embraced as both comedy and horror. And when the news is a joke, of what use are comedians? I'd say the only solution we have left in that regard is to log off. So what to do now? How do we find new forms of solidarity? There are no sacred cows. Everything is suspect, and anything can be compromised by commodification. And now, a word from our sponsors. faces! It's like Uber for evictions! In the coming decades, there's a 90% chance of the collapse of human civilization due to climate change! That sounds hysterical to me! Arms, Final Spots ExxonMobil is working on pragmatic solutions to a problem that's our collective responsibility! Let's not forget Nancy! Giving kids a work! I was a good worker! I was a good worker! I was a good worker!
The world is a mess. The world is as angry as it gets.
It's all about round-the-clock sex. So, come on, man.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
The light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drum that's high enough to feel. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become alive and the light that you shine can't be seen?